Brief pause.
You know, we all think we know what the greatest loss is. It's the end, the final goodbye. But what if that's not it? What if we've got it all wrong? This statement here, it kind of makes you stop and think, right? If death isn't the biggest loss, then what on earth is?
So, a greater loss? Let's dig into that. What could possibly hit harder than death itself?
Okay, so here's the full quote, and it's a powerful one. The idea is that these essential, vibrant parts of who we are, they can fade away long before we do. So it's not about a single event anymore. It's about this quiet, internal thing that happens.
All right, two kinds of endings. To really get what this means, it helps to kind of put these two ideas against each other. You've got the loss we all expect, and then there's this hidden loss the quote is talking about.
So on one hand, you have physical death. It's a biological event, right? A single, final moment. It happens to the body. But then you have this loss within. And that's a totally different ballgame. It's an internal process, a really slow, gradual fading of your spirit. We're talking about losing the very core of who you are.
The fading within. So, what exactly is this stuff that's fading within? What are we actually talking about here? What are these parts of us that are at risk of, well, dying while we're still alive?
Okay, so the loss within. It's defined as this slow erosion of the really essential parts of our personality and spirit. Think about it. Our passions, our curiosity, our dreams, all while we're still physically living. It's not just one thing, it's the whole inner world. Let's break that down a bit.
First up, our wonder. Remember being a kid when the world just felt huge and full of possibilities? Well, one of the first things that can start to fade is that natural curiosity. That little voice that asks, why? Instead of just, shrugging and accepting things.
And then there's our passion, that fire you had for a hobby or for your work or for some cause you really believed in. The loss here is when that fire just dims down to an ember, and something that was once exciting just becomes, well, another thing you do.
And this one can be tough. Our dreams. This might be the hardest loss of all. It's when we quietly, maybe without even noticing, pack up our biggest ambitions. We stop reaching for that life we imagined and start settling for one that feels smaller. And yeah, maybe safer, but smaller.
So how does this even happen? It's not some big, dramatic event. Nope, it's way more subtle. It happens in these tiny steps. First, we stop taking risks. Then we start choosing comfort over growth. We kind of forget what really lights us up. And before you know it, bam, we're living on autopilot.
So, what happens when these vital parts of us fade away? This question is really the core of it all, isn't it? It forces us to think about the real cost of just existing on autopilot. What is a life without that wonder, without passion, without dream, living while we are alive? See, this flips the script and brings the focus right back to us, to you, right here, right now. Understanding this idea is great, but the real magic is in using it. It's a call to action, really, to actively live while we're alive.
So let's get personal for a second. Are you actively nurturing what is alive inside you? I mean, really ask yourself, are you feeding that inner fire, or are you just letting it die down?
And if you're not sure where to even start looking, here are a few areas for a quick self-check. How's your curiosity doing? Your courage? What about your creativity? Your connections with people? Your hopes for the future? These are like the vital signs of a spirit that is truly deeply alive.
So, what have you set aside that you could pick up again? Seriously, think about it for a sec. What is it? That old guitar collecting dust? That language you always meant to learn? That idea you had that you just shelved? Maybe today's the day to just pick it back up. The greatest loss is what dies inside us while we are alive. We circle right back to this because, honestly, this is the whole point. And it's not supposed to be a downer. It's a wake-up call. It's a reminder that every single day gives you a choice to fade away or to burn a little brighter, to just exist or to truly live.
So that brings us to the final and maybe most important question. What will you do today to feel more alive? It doesn't have to be some huge life-altering thing. Maybe it's just putting on that one song that always gets you, or calling that friend you miss, or spending just 5 minutes thinking about that dream you put away. You see, the greatest loss might be what dies inside us, but the greatest win? That's choosing to bring it back to life, one small act at a time. What's yours going to be?